please use that FB thread that I created today. Put everything that you've got in your mind there. Believe me, we go through everything. Yesterday we had some 3,000-4,000 comments. We went through absolutely everything, and then just be a little patient. So do not say, sir, chemistry hogi, uske stream hogi, physics nahi karaya. Please do not do that. Listen to what we are doing. You'll learn something. So we are continuing with this. Please pay attention. So Samir, what is your number one preference when it comes to the different banks associated with?
Sir, I have chosen Canara Bank as my number one.
Canara Bank is your preference. Why have you chosen Canara Bank?
To be honest, it had a lot of vacancies also. At the same time, sir, I think looking at all the financial numbers also, it looks promising.
Okay, so you are fond of Canara Bank, that?
Yes, sir.
How many branches does Canara Bank have?
Sir, it's around 6,000, around 6,500.
Around 6. Are you sure about this?
I'm not very sure about it, sir. I checked on the website also. It was not
6,500.
Yes,
okay, and how many ATMs are there?
Around 10,500.
Again, around. You do not know exact numbers for anything.
No, I am no.
Who is the chairperson? You cannot say approximate to this.
Yes, sir. It's Manoharan, Mr. Manoharan. Yeah.
Damodaran?
No, I think it's Manoharan.
Manoharan. Yeah. At least answer something right about Canara Bank. You're fond of this bank.
Yes.
Okay, tell me which RRBs have been sponsored by Canara Bank. How many RRBs are there that have been sponsored by Canara Bank?
So there are two. An interesting fact is the Kerala Gramin Bank, which is the largest RRB, is also sponsored by Canara Bank.
That is the largest RRB?
Yes, sir.
You know which is the oldest RRB? The first one?
Yes, sir, I know that. It's Prathama Bank.
Are you sure about it?
It's in the name itself, sir. The
Pratham.
Yeah.
Pratham. Right, so this was it. This is, you keep asking, sir, hamari preference kaise matter karti hai? This is how it matters.
Please go through everything on their website. Please go through. This was the bad way that we showed the example of. So yeah. So what the message is very clear. The 1, 2, 3 on your list of preference. Everything. Chairman, when established, who was the founder, where is current headquarters. I told you about all those financial numbers. You did not ask. I was not prepared. I was just thanking myself. But you have to be prepared there. Okay, please try to understand that, and better than the vacancies are good. Come up with concrete answers like the NPAs are low, or there are. I have talked to some people where the lifestyle or anything which really makes sense. Vacancy wala, I again showed you the poor answer. You do not have to show your honesty, sir. बहुत ज़्यादा vacancy थी इसलिए. Branches, the recent branches, why they were in news recently, all that, a list of, if you look at the Canara Bank website, it is also mentioned that the first credit card to the farmers were given, first fully Mahila Bank was also given. So do that research, do that thorough research, okay? Don't leave anything to chance. First 3 banks that you're putting in, you have to know everything. Spend some time on their website. You look like a fool. Like I was looking here when I was like thinking who the chairman is. You're not supposed to do that.
That's a crime. If you do not know the chairman of this bank that you have filled as priority number 1, that's a crime. Seriously. I mean, I kind of made fun of him saying Manoharan, Damodaran, you would not even know. You would not have any idea. So that's bad. So that was a bad example. But the good part was that he knew something about that RRB thing, which was in fact a slightly deeper question. So if you knew that. But yes, be careful. Top 3 choices.
Do this research. Complete. Spend some time on the website. You will get to know everything. Make notes. Yeah, all the important points. You just can't go unprepared there.
Yes, the preferences are there in your
application. Yes, I think that is what students have told her. So if anyone has given that interview and did not find that preference, you can tell us now. Yeah, knowing something about, maybe they can just ask, which bank would you like to go, even if it is not there on your preference form.
It has more number of branches near my home. Is it a bad reason? No, it's
nil wala preference kiya hai, so I think I can save you there. You can say, sir, sometimes there have been revised vacancies and I thought they might come up with some vacancies. I think that can save you there. Yeah.
Right. Somebody said somebody there asked somebody that if I say that I chose this bank because it has got more branches near my hometown, so is it a bad answer?
But again, you will be cross-questioned there. That means if I send you to far-off place, to our new branch somewhere, you will not go. Then you should be prepared to answer that, no sir, currently my family priorities are such, I am the only earning member or something. Any story which is not false and kind of completes it, I need to take care of my ill father or mother or grandpa, and that is why I was looking for it. But yes, I think even they will be more than very happy to send me anywhere. Yeah. So just ensure you are prepared for. Uske baad you should not come look like a fool when they say, if I send you to, if you are from say Jharkhand, then if we open a branch in Kanyakumari, that means you are not available. That's it. You are gone. You should be prepared for the cross question. That's it.
And it is very simple. You have to say, sir, my priority would always be staying close to my parents, my home, my folks. Fine. But having said that, I'm open to traveling anywhere. Even if you send me to South America, I'll be fine. Khatam ho gaya. Think about that. Can I say my uncle is working in it? Stay away from any kind of nepotism. That's not really a good answer. I mean, ये Indians में वैसे बहुत सारा problem है. My uncle, my brother, ये and वो. So my uncle is working in this bank. I want to get into this bank. If you can build further on the reasoning, saying that I've got extremely good feedback about this bank as an employer, then it's fine. But just this one, my uncle is working here. You would immediately smell सामने. अच्छा ये जुगाड़ लगाने वाले चक्कर लग रहा है. Don't get into that. If you can say, sir, I've got extremely good feedback of Bank of Baroda from a couple of friends, and even an uncle of mine works over there. They say that it's really not that bad. We talk about the working conditions in PSBs. Bank of Baroda is good. That's why I want to work in Bank of Baroda. Then it's a good answer. But you have to build upon that. Don't leave it there. My uncle works there, so I want to get into it. No, that's not really good. I hope you understood this.
Stuti says, what if, say no problem sir, as long as I'm getting into any of the private sector bank which the panel feels I'm eligible for, I'll be very happy to go there.
And in fact they are not doing that. They're just checking how you respond to it. Exactly. Think about it. What would they get by doing it? You're saying your last priority, last numbered bank in that order is given to you, allotted to you. दुश्मन थोड़ना है आपके यार, they're not your enemies.
And there is a process, right? Wherever your final marks will take you according to the preference, that's where you will land, right? They're just going to check how you're responding to the situation. So don't get it.
Gagan, do not mention that your bade papa is in recruitment department for SBI. So please do not mention it. Please do not mention it. It might backfire. Be very careful. I mean, बस इससे ज़्यादा नहीं बोलना है मेरे को इस पे. Do not mention it. It'll be bad. Merit पे select हो यार. That is what is important. Anyway, moving forward, I'm asking you the next question then. So, Samir, what are your views on the recent judgment of Supreme Court on Aadhaar? Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir. I think I read about it in the newspaper, wherein Supreme Court has ensured that the privacy of citizen is also taken care of. What they have done, only the government institutes can now use the Aadhaar data to verify our identity, such as income tax department or PAN or passport. They can ask for it if it's needed. But the private players like mobile operators and private, even including banks, because it has to be level playing field, they cannot ask me to compulsorily submit my Aadhaar, which I think it's the step in the right direction, because data is a concern.
But I read somewhere recently that there are 10 agencies under central government which have been given the powers to basically get into even our personal computers. So the computer sitting here, we can get into it and access whatever. Do you think we are moving towards becoming a surveillance state that way?
Sir, this is, I'll say it's a difficult situation for government also. We have to understand from their point of view also. And at the same time, the citizens' concerns are also very valid. So it's always the security as well.
I mean, the concern is very simple. Yeah? How can somebody get into my computer and check what I've got on my hard disk?
Sir, it's for the simple reason because we as good citizens, we think that they should not. But there can be a citizen among us who will cause harm to the country. That's where the national security comes in. And I believe for the safety of the people in large, and also we understand, sir, one small instance of terrorism I'll not say small. One instance of terrorism haunts us for nearly a decade now. So we have to avoid those, even if there is a minutest chance of that happening, and if certain amount of minimal surveillance done properly in the right context.
Samir, okay, you know a lot about it, Samir, but say a yes or no. You support it, you do not support it.
Sir, again, if you ask me, national interest is also important. Where I do not support it is how it is conducted at present. What I believe is there should be a framework, a legal, transparent framework for surveillance to happen in this country. Government should have that clearly mandated. Maybe an independent judiciary should oversee it. It should be laid down in constitution. There should be complete oversight over it and seen to it its use for the purpose it is asked to.
Do you think government acted in a hurry on this issue?
Sir, looking at the timing of the upcoming election, it might, and that's the reason.
So you're saying it's a political gimmick?
I'm not saying that's political gimmick, sir. It's what oppositions are trying to make it. But I think even my opinion is government should ensure that even if that happens, it happens in a transparent way. Even now, we have a Supreme Court judgment which is far from perfect. I believe till the last, only the Joint Secretary can give the go ahead. So that's little something that creates fear in the opposition with the election coming, and you might hear a lot about it. But I think government should also take the ownership now, ensure that it is doing it in transparent way and showing to the public, there is no malified intentions there.
Good, Samir. You seem to be reading your newspapers and magazines regularly. Good. Have you heard of? You are from Punjab, right?
Yes.
Have you heard of this cow cess controversy in Punjab? There was something about it.
Yeah, it was an interesting news in the month of May or June, sir, wherein it said that there was a newspaper article where they said cattle are still roaming free, whereas government has already collected 15 crore. But then there was a CAG audit, and they came and clarified there was no such cess taken.
So it was a false news.
Yeah, kind of. That's what the CAG report further went on to clarify.
Oh, so there was no cow cess then?
No, the government of Punjab did not collect any cow cess.
Have you heard of any other state doing something similar?
Yes, recently, just last week, we heard about Gokalyan cess in UP that was introduced by Yogi Adityanath's.
What is the current status? What is it? Tell us something about it.
Sir, the idea is, there has been crackdown on illegal slaughterhouses and the illegal smuggling of the cows. And what has happened is all the old cows are now, people are not able to keep them in their house and feed them because most of these people, they do not have means to sustain them. So they just leave them out in open and they create problem in the traffic. So there are a lot of traffic jam, and these hungry cattle will eventually go into someone's farm, eat its, destroy the crop, etc. So the idea is to give them shelter. These stray cattle should be put into a shelter.
So you support this basically?
Sir, looking at the mess that it creates, I think there has to be something done.
But Samir, tell me, mess is created even by dogs. No, other stray animals, donkeys. There's so many animals like that. Why only cows then?
Sir, I again totally agree to your point of view here. There should be something done about these dog and other stray animals. Maybe like the government has now done, increase the excise that cess on the excisable product by 0.5. There should be something on gutka also, something on say cigarette, and we can take welfare of all the animals. There is no harm in it. But if you look at the instances which suddenly increased, there has been a spike, and hence it became a priority to take care of it. I'll be very happy if government also does things for other animals.
You mentioned excise, is it?
Yes, sir.
Excise, wasn't it abolished? Excise was subsumed under GST?
Yes, sir. Lot of it got subsumed, but there are still fields like petroleum products, the alcohol. Okay, and then so these two definitely are out of the purview of our GST still. So what UP government is doing, it's imposing that cess in the excise item that I talk about. It is on alcohol, okay, and also on the profit of the say the government institute that are running were profitable. They are asked to pay just 0.5% there. Agriculture mandis, they were already paying some 1% cess. That's increased to 2%.
One last question on this. Do you think it is politically motivated? Cows first and then dogs and other stray animals.
So cows, there is sentiment attached to it of the Hindus, which is increased. There was spike in the instances, and it came to the notice of people, and it was acted on. It'll be sad if they don't, continue this good step to the other animals or subsequent other.
But there's a chance of that happening.
So we cannot. It'll be again.
You would not want to comment on that.
We'll be assuming it.
Okay, let's move away from this topic. What is Rafale deal? Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir. I have heard about it. Again, it's a political controversy.
You seem to be interested in politics. That's why I'm asking such questions.
Yes, I'm actually, sir. I follow them. Yeah. It's a long story. What happened was, India wanted to buy some fighter jets in our country. So during the time of Dr. Manmohan, some 126 fighter jets were ordered, and at that time, 18 were supposed to be coming to our country in flying condition, and then rest were supposed to be by HAL. And then suddenly we had change of government in France also and in India also. And the negotiation took abnormally long time. Generally, all these deals, government to government deals, generally happen in say 4 to 6 months. This deal took almost 4 years. Yeah, more than 4 years. So that's how it proceeded. And then what happened? Because of certain, say, miscommunication, intended or unintended, because of the Secrecy Act, etc., it has now become, total political fiasco in the country, and everyone is taking short. Congress says they are, kind of cheating. The government says they are the agents.
Yes, we keep reading that in newspapers. What is your opinion on it? Who is right?
Sir, it's again difficult to say because a lot of it is still in the Secret Act, Government to Government Act, which cannot be discussed.
I mean, you are very diplomatic. Give me the correct answer.
Sir, I'll be assuming unless I know what I know. I can propose a solution to it, because as far as my knowledge is concerned, there is a provision in the Act which says anyone in the higher capacity, or all those leaders of oppositions can be asked, and they can be asked to come, and under oath they can be told all the secrets, or whatever the deal specification that Rahul Gandhi or Mamata Banerjee or Kejriwal or any leader of opposition is interested in knowing, they can be told under that oath. So I really, it is beyond my understanding what is happening here, why it is not getting done. Maybe it's the more political. It has gone into more political tug of war, which I believe is not good as far as the defense is concerned. From both the parties, both the BJP and the the opposition should come together and should settle at least the matters of defense.
In an ideal world, basically, yes. Right, so this was it. That is Samir sir grilled on the 3 issues we discussed yesterday, and I was like pretty bad. You could see that I was asking him opinion, yes, no, right, wrong, which is not generally done. I mean, but yes, it happens. So many of you would say, "इतना नहीं जाते हैं इस level तक जा सकते हैं." I would not say जाते हैं कि नहीं जाते हैं. I'll not say whether they would go to this extent or not, but they might go to this extent. The idea is not to understand and endorse your political ideology. No, the idea is just to understand whether you read, whether you know about it, whether you form opinions based on logic and reason and not on fanaticism, things like that. If you can answer that, and he handled it pretty well. I mean, if had it been given to somebody who is less well read that way, it would have been very, very tough to answer.
You have to understand what helps me here is I was aware about the topic. Had I no clue, I'll be wasting my time and his time.
I would not have asked.
You would not have asked also. So, when you come out as a knowledgeable person, analytical, not taking any extreme stance, they will be interested in knowing your opinion. That is what interview about. A lot of you say, even in some of our interviews where one of, the candidate has given as his hobby as current affairs, and when we ask current affairs question, you are not very happy. But this is what interview should be about, right? The opinion. You want to see how your candidate is thinking, right? I think Amit Meena asked a question. I think now because of the cess, your salary will decrease, and how do you cope up with that? And again, it's very simple, sir. It's it's minimal 0.5%. If that helps take care of the nuisance of the traffic, that helps save some of the farmer their farm produce, I'll be a very happy citizen to contribute my bit to it. That's it. बाद में आपको बुरा लगे, आपके हाथ में है. Do you have control over any cess? No. Say that you are liking it. That's it. Supreme Court is there. If it is unconstitutional, it will be struck down.
Yes, somebody said it right. So much of cross questioning means panel is interested, and at times people take it in exactly the opposite way. Too much cross questioning, they are hell bent on making my life difficult. No, absolutely not. Too much of cross questioning, it means that they think you are probably capable of answering the questions. They'll not, as I said, I would not have asked these questions had he faltered at the first instance. Fine. So that is the reason why it is important. So cross questioning means they're interested. They're probably looking for a 100 out of 100 kind of guy. If they're cross questioning, if they're not, you will never get a 100 out of 100. Believe me, 100 out of 100 comes when it's a tough paper. It's not like that. आसान question मुझे आसान answer दिए, you get a 100 out of 100. No, it's never going to happen.
करेंगे, ये सारे करेंगे. 10% quota, we will do everything. We will do. Don't worry about it. Do you think we are running away from question, or are we operating in our comfort zone here? We have taken most abstract thing. Abhishek sir is like kind of hammering it. But you have to understand, if you are read, if you are prepared, you can handle this thing. That is the confidence that we want to give you, and that is what we want you to start preparing on. If you are prepared, you will be able to handle it well. Okay? I think some of you also asked, how is the value of currency determined? Again,
irrelevant for what we are
doing now. It's already there in my session. Did I not tell you, go back and watch all my economics lessons? You want to go to the depth, I'll take you to the depth. Your unimaginable depth, I'll take you as far as economics and finance is concerned. Don't worry about that. Be prepared for it when we move forward with the classes. Don't worry about it. One person, I think, also wrote about the bank guys are going on strike. Yeah, would you be part of that? You have to say, sir, the strike, a peaceful strike, it's a process of this democratic institution, and I respect that. If it is a way of expressing my, whatever, my dissatisfaction, I'm losing salary for it, but I'm putting my point across. I'm not hindering the service. If I'm doing that, we inform well in advance when we go on strike. So strike, agar illegal hoga, please try to understand, if that was so bad, it would have been not allowed, right? Your salary is cut, you inform people well in advance. Of course, it causes inconvenience, but now the digital transaction and everything, that will also help you. Thank Modi ji for that, IMPS, etc. Nobody can be short of cash with all those digital transactions, etc. We have our right to put or to protest. And I think that is what something should be given to us, and if it is for the right reason, I will be part of it. हो गया काम खत्म. इसमें problem क्या है यार? Where, tell me, why am I wrong? The guy who is taking your interview must have also been sitting in that strike. It's not also just read about that strike. Has anyone any opportunity to opt out of it? Just look at till what level people are not allowed to sit in the strike. All that factual check you do on your end also. Okay.
Guys, you are again asking your questions. You are just not listening to what we are saying. I don't know, I'm surprised. Please do not ask questions that are not relevant to the discussion that we are currently doing. Please put that on the FB thread that I had opened today in the morning around 6-8 hours back. I do not remember. That's there on the FB group. That's there in the announcement section. Do whatever comes to your mind. You can put it over there. We'll try and accommodate it in the sessions going forward. Have I made myself clear? Please stop typing random things. Sir, how do I justify this? How do I justify that? We cannot accommodate that in today's session. So let us
put it there. We will do it. We'll take anything if you feel. We will try to take only the tough things today. Even tomorrow it will be tough things, or whenever we plan the next session, it will be taking only the tough things. Don't worry about it. We are not running away from any question. If it can be handled, we'll try to handle. If it can't, I will tell you that this is something that nothing comes to our mind. Invariably not happen. There is answer. There are people justifying Trump's action day in and day out. We can do much better than that. Not in that tight spot. So,
right. So let's continue with the interview. Otherwise, Samir sir would run away. So, Samir, tell us something about your hobbies.
Sir, as I mentioned, I love playing and watching badminton.
Badminton is your hobby?
Yes, sir.
You love to play, you love to watch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are the dimensions of a badminton court?
Sir, it's 44 feet long For doubles is 20 feet long, 1.5 feet of boxes on both ends. That cuts down to 3 feet, and that's 17 feet for the single. 17. The length does not change. 44.
It's standard.
Yes.
Across the board.
Yes.
What is the height of the net?
So height of the net, again at the center it's 5 feet. On the pole it is 5'1". Because of the tension it comes down. So they ensure that at the center it's 5 feet.
Which is the highest governing body of the sport?
So that's Badminton World Federation, BWF.
BWF. Right. You sure about this?
Yes.
Who do you like more, Saina Nehwal or PV Sindhu?
That's
you are a player. I mean, you're not like me. You did not give me cards. Talk about them.
Okay. So it might surprise you, but I have a personal preference of for Sindhu here. Though you might have,
I think their career record does
yes,
not,
that is what I was coming to.
Okay.
It's actually 3-1. So Saina Nehwal has beaten PV Sindhu 3-1. And even the Commonwealth gold she had beaten her. But I'm not just talking from the point of view she is the only, say, Olympic medalist in the badminton for us. But her game is constantly improving. That is what I like about PV Sindhu. She works on her weak point. If you look at her game 3 years back to now, it has improved significantly. And I see that even under Coach Pulela Gopichan, she is constantly improving. That encourages me when I look at her game. And she has good stamina. She has good net game. She has a powerful smash.
I can clearly see that she's your favorite player.
Yes,
if she's a favorite player, you must answer this. She recently won a major tournament. What was that?
Incidentally, that was BWF championship only.
Okay. Right. So this is. I'm not at all exhausted. I mean, in the sense that I could have asked 100 questions on badminton. That's just to give you an example that when you're mentioning something as a hobby, you have to prepare it in and out completely. Completely in the sense, कुछ भी पूछता, I would have answered. कुछ भी. India का number 1, world का number 1.
Yeah, I said just she was silver. She was I think bronze, right? Yeah. Some of her.
He's a dummy candidate, so he does not know. You need to know.
You need to know, yeah.
So prepare it now. Dekho, these are easy questions to handle. If something comes from an unknown area that you cannot predict, they'll be very tough to handle. If the question is from a hobby, don't say, sir, ये कैसे relevant है banking के लिए? Banking से relevant नहीं है. I keep saying this again and again and again. It is relevant for you as a person. So how committed, how dedicated to you are to things that you do, be it your education or your hobbies or whatever else you do, shows a lot about you as a person. And that is the reason why they check you on stuff. They cannot give you a shuttlecock and racket and say, खेल के दिखाओ. They cannot do that, right? So
why?
How would they check?
Why, sir, ask dimension? Some of you are asking because I said I like playing, right? I did not say I just like watching. Even then I should have, but I showed a keen interest when I said I love playing and watching. So if I play, I don't know the code dimension. Does that not look silly?
I mean, you might still argue that, sir, for playing, I have always got a ready-made code. I never did that myself. So how would I know? I mean, you can say that about so many things. Why do you need to know that India's got a tricolor as its national flag? How does it make a difference to you? Would it ever stop you from doing anything? No. कैसे आपको पता चलता है? If you do not know the name of a president, does that make a difference to your lives? I do not think it makes a difference. Think about it. Would a restaurant deny you entry because you do not know the name of your vice president? No. Why? Why is that important then? Yeah, basic चीज़ है. Badminton is your sport. If that is your sport, you need to know stuff about it. They cannot check your competence or your level of passion in badminton by giving you a racket and a shuttlecock over there. No, they will not do that. How would they check then? By asking you questions. So if they ask you questions which you think are not important, it's good for you. If you can predict those questions, prepare them beforehand, surprise them. So सब कुछ आता है. कुछ गंदा पूछते हैं, नेट की हाइट पूछ ली. Who does net की हाइट? स्टैंडर्ड होता है, जो भी होता है, इतना होता है. कितना होगा? 500 types. But you need to know that it's exactly 5.1 on the poles and 5 in between because it is your hobby. I hope this is understood. And you like it or not like it or hate it or absolutely detest it. It does not make a difference. They ask questions like this, and this is it. That is all what makes that is important here. They ask you questions on this. You might keep saying irrelevant. You might keep saying.
They can ask you how many feathers are there in shuttlecock. So don't be surprised. So when you are telling something is your hobby, they are not seeing they are seeing how passionate you are about it. The more passion you show in one field, it is likely to also they are not silos. If I am passionate about my hobbies, I am passionate about my work also. That's how generally normal human beings have their things, and that's what they are trying to check. How passionate this guy is. Sab cheez mein dhila hai, or does he have that spark to come and do something good when he comes to the bank? Will he show the same spark which he has for his hobby? If we give him proper environment. So that is the reason for asking these questions. They are not irrelevant. Please try to understand that.
Right. Somebody says, I've got national level certificates. Should I take them for the interview? Yes. There's absolutely no harm. Do not just force them down their throat. Keep them with you in case they ask. So let's say it comes to badminton. You've got something to show. Fine. And they ask you, what do you do? At what level have you played? So you can mention it's I've played at this level. And you got some proof of it. You've got it. They'll generally not ask you for proofs and all, but no harm.
Yeah, but if it's national and state level, I think they will check. They should check.
They should check.
Yes.
Yeah. They might not check. It depends, but
Gully Mohalla district, nobody will ask. But yeah, state, national level is a big thing. Yeah, it's a big thing.
If you've played at national level, carry it along with you the way you are supposed to carry off your CV all the time. I mean, I advise it to people. Leke rakho apne paas, hamesha rakho. It's not asked, but just take it along. Educational qualifications, where you keep everything with you. So if you've got something like that, just take it along with you. Talk about it, that's more important.
Yes, yeah, people are not having only even one hobby. If you have more than one hobby, yes, it's sufficient. One should do, yeah?
One should do. I mean,
if you have 5, you can justify, you can answer them.
But if it is just one, then expect anything and everything on it. If you got 3, 4, it becomes difficult for you. Pata nahi kisko pick karke. I might be fond of badminton. You mentioned 4 things. Might ask you questions to this. So it's tougher. Restrict yourself to 2 or 3. Even one would do the job. I'm more concerned about people because somebody asked me in the morning today, sir, I do not have any hobbies. What do I do? Now, I don't know, my friend, are you trying to evade that question or what? When no hobbies, yaar, kitna dull hoga? To bada mushkil ho jayega na. Think of something. If I give you, let's say if I tell you, I'm assuming that if you do not have any hobbies, then you must be studying very hard, right? If I tell you today that the job is, it's there, see, you've got this job. What do you think of doing tomorrow? Soch ke baad. Think about something that you would want to do apart from working hard. कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा that you like doing. उसके बारे में नहीं है फिर भी कुछ.
Sleeping in these interviews, I'll strongly. If it was for an IM interview, expect 100 questions. Here, they might be put off. Little conventional. So sleeping, don't go to that sleeping.
Ashutosh, they're still saying sleeping.
Sleeping
can attract so many questions.
Trust me, I can ask you 100 questions. If sleeping is your hobby, you should know inside out about sleeping. What is the REM sleep? What is the dreaming phase? And hundreds of questions. What is sleep paralysis? What are the diseases associated with sleep? I can make you sweat there, and this just comes impromptu. Nothing was this is off script. If I prepare for 10 minutes, I'll literally make you sweat. So don't get into those areas. Try to think about something genuine which you are really interested. Jo Abhishek sir bola, one thing that you really want to do. After work or study, there will be something, cooking can be, singing can be. Someone is asking, what if I say singing, what? 100 things, yeah. Which is your favorite singer? Do you know about the classical singing? How many kinds of gharanas are there? What is sur, antra, tal? I have absolutely no clue about music. Trust me. And these are 5 things that came to my mind. If anyone in the panel knows anything about music, so tell something which you are really genuinely interested in, and do research on it. Again, मैं तो बस गाना गाता हूँ. In fact, I for the badminton, I think we first thought I'll say, sir, मेरे को बस खेलना अच्छा लगता है. कोर्ट के बारे में मत पूछो.
We did not do that. वो plan
we are running out of time, so we kind of.
The plan was to show you a bad answer to it. So a bad answer would be, sir, I play. I have not done it. इतना होगा. That's a bad answer. I mean, it's the same thing that some of you were saying, sir, how is the dimension of the court important? How is the height of the net important? I always got it ready-made. What do I check from you then, my friend? I mean, you are then telling me, sir, do not ask me questions on badminton. Then let me ask questions on baseball. मेरे को तो baseball पसंद है. Would it be good? Think like that. Stay in your
photography again. 100 things. Yeah, photography तो मतलब it's a huge thing.
And most of the things that you mentioned here, I'm just reading the comments here, are good enough to be called a hobby. When somebody said making a coffee, that's very, very specific.
Trust me, how many kinds of coffee do you know? How is Arabica different from 10 other varieties? What is there is a coffee variety which comes poop of one animal in, tell me the name of that animal. I can make you sweat there. So the idea is not that. Idea is whatever, even if it is coffee. Here, because I'm a little afraid because they are a little conservative. I might be judgmental there. Don't try to, come out as, that striking.
Or do not give them this idea that you're trying to be smart, or
you're smart.
You're trying to evade the answers by coming up with sleeping as a hobby. Just that.
It's a good, trust me, it will be a very good interview. It can become an excellent interview if you say coffee making is your hobby. How many kinds of coffee is there? What is the proportion of milk, and how does the taste change? What is the effect of the temperature on the coffee? What happens if you are drinking it in a air? I can ask you 100 questions. Any damn thing that comes.
And the good part would be that this would be such an interesting topic because they would not expect somebody to get into so much detail about a coffee. I mean, coffee is a coffee. इसमें इतना क्या हो सकता है detail? So I might fell into that trap thinking कि कहाँ ही तो रुकेगा, and you're just going on and on and on. हो जाते हैं 5 मिनट कई बार इस तरीके से तो.
Exactly. So, whatever you say, be prepared for it. That is the bottom line here.
Whatever you wrote, almost everything, absolutely everything is relevant over here. Absolutely everything is relevant over here. कुछ भी, cooking, Hindi movies, meditation. Do not think Hindi movie is an easy hobby.
Hindi movie though, it's a killer. Trust me. Which was the last movie in which all three Khans acted together?
I mean, supposedly innocuous questions. You think even they would be very tough. It's a very tough one. I mean, if you think about it, it's really tough.
Puzzle solving, be very prepared. I'll
good chance they'll ask you something.
Okay, I'm giving you a question right away. There are 12 points. One is fake. In 3 ways you can do it. I'm giving you the answer also. Explain me how. Whoever wrote puzzle solving, if you can answer that in next 5 minutes, it's good. If you cannot, you need to work on it.
And Samir, it's very difficult to answer under that pressure situation. So if you cannot get anything about it in the next first 30 seconds, 60 seconds, you'll feel the pressure, and believe me, it gets tough. So, I mean, if you can keep your cool and then answer it, it's good.
If you're confident, you've solved hundreds of puzzles, all possible, popular puzzles, answers you already know, go ahead. No problem. Be prepared. That's again the bottom line. NGO life, how to capitalize NGO life? What do you
probably is trying to say, can we talk about NGOs?
Capitalize on the NGO life. Yes, of course. Yeah, in the introduction, it should be there. Anything that you're doing for free and with good intention, you should put it. But it should not come out as, you're trying to gain brownie points there. That's it. Put it subtly. Also show that, yes, you're doing things outside what is expected of you. As a good citizen, also you're doing something that will be taken as positive.
Rajit said, analyzing cricket stats is my hobby. So finally cricket, I'm surprised the interest in cricket in this country is definitely going down. Out of 25 people, just one person said cricket. Yeah, when एक time था जब 25 में से 20 लोग used to say cricket. And it's good. The interviews also. But yes, it's a dangerous hobby. Cricket is a statistician's delight. All of you understand that. There can be so many things that can be asked about cricket. So if you are trying to mention something as specific as saying analyzing cricket stats is a hobby, it's a very dangerous hobby. You can make it.
And if you're good at it, go ahead.
I mean, if you're confident.
Yeah.
But please check your confidence level by talking to somebody who's actually interested in the subject, and he'll might make you believe in 3 minutes, nahi, ye to change karni hai kali. So it might happen, might not happen. If you're good, go ahead. It's a wonderful hobby.
If you are able to impress 3-4 genuinely concerned, interested guys, continue. Do.
Chess, absolutely. You can talk about chess. I mean, बिल्कुल बात कर सकते हो chess की. You don't follow sports? Sometimes you must be following something else. It doesn't make a difference. Guys, we're not recommending sports. We're not recommending music or coffee or whatever. We're just saying it can be absolutely anything as long as it can generate some interest in the panel. So they look at it as something that can help you in some ways, and you can answer questions on it. So if you ask me, I mean, this is a very stupid thing to say, of choosing a hobby. If you ask me criteria on which should be choosing a hobby, because hobbies is something that should not be choosing. Hobbies are hobbies, naturally. But still, if you're asking me criteria of choosing the hobbies, think of hobbies that add some value to you that way. If you have to choose one, if there is a hobby, just stay with it. And 2, you have to prepare it hard and work on questions. So rather than sleeping, I'll say I'll find playing a sport a better hobby that way. It's adding something to you. Sleeping भी हो सकता है यार. I mean, do not say कि I'm biased towards sports. I'm saying sports over sleeping. I like sleeping as much, but no, think of something that can show some value add as well to your personality. So if you talk about some such thing, then that's probably some extra marks, and then you have to prepare for it, right? Watching Tarak Mehta का उल्टा चश्मा, then यार don't be so specific. I mean, Tarak Mehta का उल्टा चश्मा मतलब यार I would not recommend that.
That's recreation and hobby.
It'll be slightly different. You might say
what you do for entertainment and hobby. How do we tell? Do you think you can really? I don't know. Maybe I think you can justify even that, but that did not come out well.
I mean, मैं उसमें judgmental नहीं होना चाहता again. It's completely your choice what you want to watch. But इसकी जगह अगर आप prime time debate बोलते ना, तो मेरे को ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है. As somebody who is evaluating you to employ in my bank, not in any way demeaning your interest in Tarak Mehta. तारक मेहता, right? तारक मेहता के चश्मे में मैं आपके इंटरेस्ट को बिल्कुल ही नहीं बोल रहा खराब है, एकदम अच्छा है. But look at the situation.
Amrut, farming is a wonderful hobby. If you are taking it as a hobby, it's not your occupation. Know about all the crops, all Kharif, Rabi, Zaid, and what crops enter, all the fallow land, why it is left, what are the crops you can do to increase productivity, what is organic farming, and then anything and everything about farming. Again, impromptu, you wrote on screen, I told 10 things. Again, give me 10 minutes to research, I'll ask you some good questions.
Cooking, cycling, Sudoku, puzzles, everything can be a hobby. Sudoku is very specific. So you can probably mention puzzles and Sudoku becomes a part of it. If you are somebody who is like very deep into Sudoku का कोई end ही नहीं है, you can mention Sudoku. But be prepared for questions. If the idea is to evade questions by mentioning a hobby on which you will think, इसमें क्या पूछेंगे? Then you are making a mistake. One mistake, you are underestimating them. Two, you are losing that chance to talk about stuff that you are interested in. Then you would be answering questions on the stuff in which they are interested. Would you want to do that? Ask yourself. No, let's finish this interview first. Yeah. So I've got one last question for Samir, and then we'll close it after a brief interaction.
There will be two versions to it.
Two versions of it. So Samir, tell me, you have not been employed for 2.5 years almost. You've been giving tuitions, and now you are unemployed at this stage. You worked out this all right. If you do not get selected here, what then? What would you do?
ऐसे मत बोलो sir. This will be really difficult. I have prepared hard.
I understand, but I'm asking you. You have to have a fallback option. If you do not get selected, मैं ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा. But अगर ऐसा हो गया, what would you do?
It will be very difficult for me to how do I take this? I have really worked hard. I think I have really put in hours and hours preparing for this.
I understand that, Samir, but it's a competitive process, so there are other candidates. Will be very fair to everybody. You'll get marks, and on the basis of that, there will be selection. Fine. Had it been in my control, I would have selected you. You are in need. But if you do not get selected, you do not have any plans, then what would you do?
I'll prepare hard next time. Maybe I do not have a...
You'll prepare hard?
Yes.
This time also you prepared hard. Then 3.5 years next time?
It's difficult. But I want to get into PSUs.
What kind of answer was this? I think all of you would understand. ऐसा मत बोलो sir. That was a bit comical, but yes, it might happen to people who have been working hard for this, and it can actually be demoralizing, disappointing. The panelist says the very thought scares you at times. No, I mean the very thought of not getting that job can scare the living daylights out of you. Thinking क्या होगा यार? तो वो इसका expression निकल गया मुझसे. ऐसा मत बोलो यार, आप ही बोलोगे तो कैसे होगा? When I go out and look at my interview marks, उसने बोला था मेरे को नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा? इसी ने नंबर कम दिए. So do not do that, but be prepared for such questions. So it's one of those 35 questions that I've the threads of which are there in our Facebook group. Work on these questions. So this was a bad answer. Obviously, it's a bad answer. When he said, "क्या image गई?" He's needy. I could understand, but you need to understand this, and many people do not understand this. The job does not go to the needy. The job never goes to the needy. The job goes to the deserving one. Fine. Needy को कभी नहीं चाहता यार job. I am the employer. Think about it. Who would I take? I can sympathize, I can empathize with the needy, but I'll take the one who's better, isn't it? So people do not show their work experience saying, sir, if they see that I'm already employed, they would not hire me. अरे इस basis पे नहीं देते नौकरी यार, आपको कौन गुमराह करता है ये? The job is not given on the basis of whether you are employed previously or not. Many people hide their experience for the very reason they think if I'm employed, they will think he already has a job. Why doesn't he do his job? No, yaar. I mean, you have to explain to them that this is the better thing for me, for my career. I'm actually interested. You'll get the job. Don't think that by playing that needy card, you'll get the job. No. when the population is too huge for you to get the job based on that need card. No, you have to work on your competence. You have to play your competence, and then you get the job. So I'm asking this question again to Samir, and let's see what he's got to say now. Samir, you have been preparing for this for 2.5 years. It's a long battle. You prepared hard. What if you do not select you? You do not get selected this time. What would you do?
First of all, that would be unfortunate if that happens, because I really worked hard for this, and it'll be difficult. But yeah, at the same time, I'll go back and analyze what are the things I have done wrong this time. I'll try to improve upon it and maybe come next time. Yeah, and at the same time, as suggested by you, sir, I'll ensure that I make myself gainfully employed, because now I think I'm at the same time now better equipped with the examination pattern. I understand that, and even with the work as was suggested by you, I think I'll be able to prepare for it, and maybe next time I'll get through.
Right. Thank you, Samir. That is your interview. The interview is over. Samir's ordeal is over. That was the last question of the interview.
This is bad question. Actually, it puts you off. Even when I am kind of playing a different person, I feel bad. I feel hurt. How can you say on my face that I'll be rejected? But I have to take it calmly. Maybe even this was, I felt bad. Honestly, I'm telling you, I was not trying to do any drama here. I felt bad. Why will you not select me? I have really put in a lot of hard work here. I have worked sincerely. I have told you everything about me, how I have, kind of sustained myself. I have reached there. It hurts. But there you have to have that, neutral disposition. Except, if it happens, of course, it will go to the best guys. And though I'm confident that I have done well, but if I'll again go back and work it. And if during the course of interview, you were convinced at certain time that you should go back and take a job somewhere, yes. And at the same time, though my my personal liking is that, so he will not object me trying for bank again also. Maybe I'll take a job and then I'll try again. Yeah.
Nikita says emotional कर दिया sir. हाँ, थोड़ा सा emotional is okay. I mean, if they start empathizing with it, it's fine. But वो need वाला card मत play करो. You have to tell them you are deserving and you are needy as well at the same time. So if you do not get the job, you'll be probably disappointed and you'll be shattered and all. That's fine. But you are playing on your competence, not just on your need. That is the difference. There's a thin line between it. So do not cross that line and almost kind of start begging sir कर दो इस बार तो हालत खराब हो जाएगी वरना वो मत करो बाकी सब कुछ ठीक है. I hope you understood the message here. Now if you want to ask us something, many people are asking sir 100 में से कितने नंबर दोगे समीर सर को. समीर सर ने तो चीटिंग की है. I mean he knows all the answers in such detail. मेरे को लग रहा था क्या पूछूं. He knows everything. मैं एक चीज पूछता हूँ 2-3 चीज बता देते हैं. Samir sir की cheating है, but yes, the final answers that we showed you.
This is how it can happen in real life. I'm not trying to boast myself. I told you about my mock experience, guys. The first mock, literally मतलब उन्होंने मुझे, they wiped me, and then I felt humiliated. Trust me, I did not cry there, but my eyes literally welled up. Yeah. And I felt so bad. Never in my life I felt so bad. I went back and it took to my heart that ab na interview I will prepare. Trust me, almost I would have prepared for 15-20 days. लेकिन मैंने ऐसा prepare कर लिया था ना, like the badminton. That was my actual hobby. Even when it is in my real life also, I like again cricket and badminton. But badminton is easier because I can cover most of the thing in less time. So I always tell when I used to give an interview, बैडमिंटन तो कुछ भी पूछ लो आप. शटल का वेट, स्ट्रिंग की उसका क्या वेट होता है, उसके अंदर आपका क्या पावर होता है, हाउ मेनी डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ कॉर्ड्स आर देयर, हाउ मच इट डज अ शटल ट्रैवल इवन विद द हाईएस्ट swing that the player, what is the maximum speed of a smash, what are the kind of turfs that is there, what kind of shoes that you wear there. कुछ भी पूछ लो यार, मतलब when I'm prepared. You will not surprise me. I will surprise you. So that is the level of depth I went to prepare answer for all. It's all about preparation, guys. Trust me, it's all about preparation. We are all good, but we have to kind of collect, because our life has been so long. We have to consolidate that 15 minute का trailer दिखाना उनको. You understand that? Only showcase the best of yourself. Again, this is not hinting that you have to be dishonest or non-genuine. The best self of you, collect, recollect, rehearse, practice, go, present. You will be sold. You will be bought. You have to sell yourself, you will be bought.
Right. You're again coming up with a lot of questions. Please put that on our FB thread on that.
We'll take them all. We'll take them all.
Do not repeat the questions that we took today. No, it'll be all new. So the three current issues that we took today
will not repeat.
Will not repeat the issues. So the idea is to kind of
different profile. Somebody will be in mechanical engineering or a BCom honors, and then all those new questions will be added.
So the types that we do not take here or we cannot take here, do not think that we're being partial towards something. No. It's just random things. You're taking up stuff that's slightly difficult to answer. Fine. So it'll be all based on what we get as feedback or as requests or recommendations from you on our Facebook thread. So whatever you put there, we'll try and incorporate everything.
Both, I think all the hobbies that you guys are listing, most of them are acceptable. Yeah.
Right. ठीक है, then I will take your leave. We hope you are enjoying the format. The idea was not to give you a monologue, because a monologue can get slightly boring. We have already done a lot of boring stuff, and we still expect you to go through it. I'm surprised when you're asking these questions that we have already addressed in all those sessions. So if you look at the session description of this current video, this will be unavailable after the next 10 minutes. If you look at the session description, there is a link to a video. Click on that. We have discussed everything about what you need to do. That is the primary thing. Whatever we are doing is over and above that, right? So this is nothing without all those things. Work on that and then do this. I'll keep repeating this every day, because some of you would be suffering from buffering, and some of you would be doing something else, some would be eating, would not hear. Do that first. That's most important. Interview is still some 3-4 weeks away. And then enjoy these sessions. Enjoy these sessions because these are fun sessions for you, not doing the hard work.
But after this, you have to take the learning out from here and then do everything. Every possible question that can be asked. Make detailed note, write answers, do research, rehearse, make that best. Rule of thumb, if you ask me, any question that sir asked, I should be able to talk, sensible stuff for a minute. If you can do that, you are prepared.
Okay. They want to make me the interview tomorrow. अरे यार मुझे आता नहीं है. He is the one who reads. मेरी बैंड बजा दी. चलो ठीक है. We thoroughly enjoyed doing this. Acting जैसा हो रहा है थोड़ा सा. But we hope that you like the format and you are learning from it. The idea is not to enjoy this 1.5 hour, but to learn from it and then take it forward to your thing. I mean, this must have made you realize how much you need to work on this, right? So just take that learning along with you. And then when you go to the bed tonight, you should understand कि आज के दिन में मैंने क्या achieve करा. ऐसे रोज हर दिन रात में सोते समय सोचना before you hit the sack every day. What did I learn today? Learn not in terms of these sessions, but in terms of enhancing your knowledge and all. And then you are on the right course. Every day you should go to the bed with this achievement, this feeling of achievement. I learned about badminton today. 4 hours. Somebody is asking badminton कैसे सीखें? अरे यार, what are you asking? You've heard of this tool called Google? नई कंपनी है, अभी आया है. Google टाइप करो, google.com. सब कुछ बताता है. वंडरफुल है, मजा आ जाएगा, आपको फैन हो जाओगे. एक बार ट्राई करके देखना. ठीक है. चलो ठीक है. Take a leave now. Yes, tomorrow we are meeting again at 9 o'clock. We'll probably take a break day after. So on Thursday we'll discuss that. Let's take it one day at a time. So we're meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock same time. And you'll get the link at 8:55. So we'll have no communication with us before 8:55.
Again, put that on the Facebook. Today also, whatever we collected from your Facebook posts and the personal messages that we were getting. Put that on Facebook. It's difficult to read so many personal messages because a lot of other stuffs are also there. So just put it on the Facebook link. We'll choose only the most difficult situation. Do not worry about it.
Right. FB link. You go to the video that is there in the session description. Click on it right now before we end the session. When you go there, on that pinned comment and description of that session, you will find everything. And so it's a few things that are connected, but if you go to the session that is there in the description of this current session that we are delivering, you will find everything. You're smart enough people, I should find that. Right, we'll take a leave now. Thank you very much for your patience.